when you talk to John, he still has a sense that his dad is still there, like that his dad is still watching him, that dad is still advising him. And I think that's a lovely way to think of his dad.
Growing up in Cork, but with Kerry running through his veins, John Egan was the boy with the famous name. The son of a GAA legend, John Sr. is widely regarded as one of Kerry's greatest ever players. 6 All-Irelands and 5 All-Stars, it's a lot to live up to. But from a young age, it was very clear that John Egan was going to continue the legacy of his father. Gaelic football, hurling and soccer. He played and excelled at them all. It was really just a case of which sport for this talented all-rounder.
I remember when John was very, very small, I'd say, but he might have been only 5 or 6, seeing John Sr. and John Jr. and tennis racket, golf club, rugby ball, soccer ball and a Gaelic football all inside in a bag. And I said, where are you off to? Oh, we're kicking around and we'll try this and we'll try that and we'll try the other.
He was a 9 out of 10 in soccer because no one's perfect, but in GA he was a 20 out of 10. He was unbelievable, I tell you.
His first real opportunity of playing at school level was in the mini sevens when he was only in 3rd class. So I remember him, he was a tiny, tiny dot, getting a ball at the end line, on the end line and turning his man and coming in and off his weaker leg, putting the ball into the far side of the goal, into the top corner, and the ball, one of these goals, you know, that twirls around in the net and you look at it. I remember looking out to the other teacher who was working with us, Mr. Hanlon, and I looked over and I just put thumbs up and he gave thumbs back to me saying, this fella's going to be special.
Soccer was the chosen one. The rare and unique opportunity of a professional sporting life was too good to look past. His mother may have had a role in this too. As well as being a footballer and a camogue with Kerry, Mary was a talented soccer player who won a League of Ireland medal with Cork Rangers.
We always knew he was an extremely, extremely talented soccer player. I remember watching him PE here. I suppose I'm here 24 years now and I've seen 1,000 or so plus boys going through, but I've never seen anyone as skillful as this guy playing soccer.
When John went to England, they expected him to burst onto the scene straight away. A change in managers set him back. So too did a broken leg. But there was no blow as devastating as the loss of his father in April 2012.
It was just horrendous in lots of ways, and the fact that obviously John was over in England, gets a phone call to say his dad's after passing away. You know, he was still fit, he was still training, he was still, you know, John Sr. was still around in terms of, you know, he'd have a burst off spinning or a burst off something. And a very, very strong guy, and you'd say, geez, that couldn't have happened to him. But it did, and I would say that John Jr. was on the cusp of just starting into the next part of his career, had this horrific injury, then this happens. So, you know, you're a long way from home, you can be a bit lost, and it just shows I suppose, the drive and determination he has that he picked himself up from that. I know it's taken him time, like any of us would, but he's picked himself up from that, and he has great support from his mum and he's great support from his sister, and I think they're very, very tight-knit, and they always were, the 4 together. And I think when you talk to John, he still has a sense that his dad is still there, like that his dad is still watching him, that dad is still advising him. And I think that's a lovely way to think of his dad. And that's a tight, close relationship that they had. They were joined at the hip. John Sr. was calm and kind of you know, reserved in lots of ways. Mary's extremely reserved as well, but she has a bit of fire from North Kerry inside her, and I think you see that in John at times. That comes out at times in some of those tackles.
I heard he was over in Coffey's Field, was it last summer, or maybe the summer before, watching an under-17 match, and they got a late winner, and John was on the pitch jumping on top of him.
Every day you go up there, at the same time you see him with an O'Neill's or you see him with a Slitter and a Hurley, and he'd be up there practicing with the buddies he had when he was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that says everything about him. That's what makes him even more one of our own. He's not some person who's after making it in a superstar world of Premiership soccer, which obviously it is. He's a guy grounded in Bishopstown. He's a guy who grew up in Bishopstown, and he's a guy who returns to Bishopstown in every single opportunity he gets. You know, I think the desire for all of us is that someday he finishes playing soccer, that he might come back to Bishopstown and play with us in hurling and football. He's given us in school here a jersey, for example, from his second cap. It's number 15. You know, you say to yourself, why 15? Obviously, that's his dad's jersey, like Kerry at times.